Break it down.
Get swishy with it. Swish Edition.
Hey, y'all. How are you? I hope you are well.
I'm hope they're warmer than I am.
It's freaking cold here in Vegas. We had snow today. Literally friends of ours had
weird,
snow falling in their backyard. We weren't home, so we don't know. We don't know if we had snow or not.
It's not unheard of, but it's weird.
I do remember when we lived here the last time.
I remember
we had a snowy day.
Our first week here at the Airbnb while we were waiting to close on the house, we had snow.
Crazy.
We did.
It's not supposed to be like this here. It literally feels like Delaware.
It's fucking freezing.
This is not what we wanted. This is not what we signed up for.
It's barely 40 degrees outside.
Where are those days where we run around in our skivvies all the time, where it's like so hot that you could just wear your underpants? I want underpants days back. Hey, a little correction from last week. At the very, very end of last week's show, episode 392, I said, we'll see you in February. Well, I forgot there were 31 days in January. So
no one remembered that.
Today's January 31st, the last day of the year. My friend Monica's birthday.
Hooray.
Yeah. So here we are.
Huzzah.
Episode 393. Isn't that crazy? The last day of January. February is a good month. Starts tomorrow. Yeah. I always love February. I don't know why. I always thought it was kind of a happy month.
Really?
Yeah, with Valentine's Day and Lincoln's birthday. That's what I remember from being a kid. I don't know why. It's kind of fun. What are we doing for Valentine's Day this year?
Nothing.
We should do something. What day of the week is it? Let's see. It is a Tuesday. Hey, there'll be a new Swish Edition that day.
I think I have a dermatologist appointment that day.
I think you do too. at 10:45. And our bubble buns are coming that day.
Hey, bubble buns.
They're the ones that clean our garbage cans. Oh my God. So obviously I have my calendar up in front of us. Hey, Campbell Soup announces a new limited edition soup. We love talking about limited edition shit and brands that have savvy marketing skills. Campbell Soup is announcing their chunky ghost pepper chicken noodle soup.
Aye, aye, aye.
It's so spicy, they claim, that potential eaters have to sign a waiver in order to try it. They claim that that's a joke, though. It's not legally binding. But it is the spiciest chicken soup ever made. It dropped on January 27th. Only 500 cans were produced. And, of course, the soup is already sold out. The soup came with a cool kit. So you had to go online to buy it. It came with a cooling towel, a fan, a sweatband, and tissues.
Oh,
that's how hot this shit is.
It's great marketing. Great.
It's said to be 500 times hotter than the usual chunky, spicy chicken noodle soup, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Can I ask you something that I didn't know was a thing?
What's that?
Is that Campbell's also makes a cream of bacon soup?
What? What is cream of bacon?
Cream of bacon.
The dogs are going bananas. They don't like that idea.
Just like cream of mushroom, cream of chicken. What else? These are like usually like bases for something, right?
Right. Yeah.
They make a cream of bacon.
How can you cream bacon?
How do you cream chicken? How do you cream mushroom? How do you do any of those things?
You just take that thing and you put it in cream, I guess.
Yeah, I just always thought of it as being the ingredient that you kind of like marinate in a cream to get the flavor. Well, anyway, they make a cream of bacon.
I'm excited about trying it. I have never seen it in the store. And you won't see the chunky ghost pepper chicken noodle soup in the store either because it's already sold out.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
I got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio on the mics, and Dave fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might withdraw.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your hosts.
It's very exciting for me because this is the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
Oh, so excited. So excited. Want to know why?
Why?
Because Oreos is releasing their most Oreos. You hear about this? So continue on with our theme of creative marketing for the brands. This is a more limited edition silliness. The Oreo company has taken the double stuffed Oreo and they took the cream, right? And they took the cream filling and mashed it up with Oreo cookie crumbs and then sandwiched it between two Oreos. So not only do you have the Oreos on the outside and the cream on the middle, but you've got Oreo crumbs in the cream. It's called the most Oreo cookies.
I will say that if there's anything most American,
yeah,
Oreos,
an Oreo cookie
is like top 5, right?
Yeah.
It has
I think
to be.
so.
Like when you think of as far as food goes, what is most American? And I think Oreos is top 5.
Kraft macaroni and cheese.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
Oscar Mayer hot dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to think of all American here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure our listeners can think of others that it's not coming to me.
I honestly think the Oreo
yeah
is like definitely top 5.
The McDonald's cheeseburger?
No, McDonald's is everywhere.
Okay.
McDonald's is everywhere. Like, what's the most? Because there are things that aren't available outside this country,
All right.
and they become like the most American things. Although Oreos are probably sold outside this country.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
But it is one of the most iconic American
things.
brands.
Yeah.
What's it? Nabisco?
I think they're the ones that bring it to us. Yeah. Anyway, the most Oreos are already available for pre-sale at Oreo.com, and you should start seeing the packages for sale in your local grocery store starting January 30th, which was yesterday.
I actually like the thin ones.
It's the thin ones? Yeah, they're good.
They're really yummy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of the cream, so I like double stuff.
Yeah.
Double stuff is definitely my favorite.
And how great is it like in an ice cream, right? You go to the McDonald's and you get that Oreo McFlurry thing, which is all mixed in.
How do you eat your Oreos? I mean, I have a special way I eat mine, and they're not very special. I think a lot of people do it. I twist them, and I take them apart, and I eat the cream with my teeth, and I pull the cream out, and then I eat the cookie by itself.
No, I just pull it out of the package and eat the cookie.
You just eat it as is.
As is.
That's so boring. That's so boring. You have to open it up and eat the cream separately from the cookie. I think that's the way you're supposed to do it. A lot of people do that. What about dipping it in milk? A lot of people do that, which, you see people doing that in the commercials all the time. And I'm like, ew. Well, one, I don't like milk.
Dairy and me don't go together, but I have done it when I was a kid, and it's fine. It's fine. It's no different than having a milkshake with Oreos mixed up in it.
True. I got it. Speaking of McDonald's, we talked about...
I'd rather have a milk-sogged Oreo
than
a milk-sogged cereal.
Sogged?
Soggy, yeah.
Soggy.
Sogged.
Yeah.
It's milk-sogged.
Sogged.
That's why I don't eat cereal.
I think you just came up with a new word, y'all.
And I grew up on cereal, and I refuse to eat it till this day just because of how soggy it gets.
You don't like soggy cereal?
No, it's fucking gross.
McDonald's is testing their new strawless lids. I like this idea, and I think it's something that is not really that...
Well, Starbucks is already doing it.
Starbucks has already been doing it for several years. McDonald's says it's part of their ongoing global commitment to reduce waste. They say we're aiming for 100% certified recycled and renewable guest packaging materials by the end of 2025. I don't know why they can't do it today, but apparently they can't. They say our ambition is to drastically reduce plastics, which is a good thing. We know that straws are bad. We've known that straws are bad for some time now.
They get stuck in turtles' noses.
They do.
Have you seen those pictures? It's horrible.
But people online are going fucking nuts over this.
Fuck them.
They're so fucking upset about that. I wonder what our friend Melissa thinks about this.
Who cares?
I believe she... I think she's a really big fan of straws.
No, shit like this doesn't matter. It should not matter. If your life changes drastically
because you don't
can't
get
a fucking straw, then you're living your life wrong.
Or these people who
you're living your life
absolutely
wrong.
think the end of the world is happening because they get a paper straw instead of a plastic straw at a restaurant.
No. Have you look up
Give me a fucking break.
look up straws and turtles and then tell me you want a straw again?
Listen to me. I looked this up. I did a little research before the show. Straws were invented in the early 1900s. People have managed to drink without straws for many thousands of years before that.
Right.
And they will learn how to drink without a straw for many thousands of years beyond today.
For sure.
You don't need a fucking straw.
You don't need a fucking straw.
Okay, if you're a paraplegic and you need a fucking straw, go get a metal one.
Right.
You can get some metal ones on Amazon if you really, really need one.
Right.
Otherwise, you can literally drink a drink. Believe me, I've done it. You can drink a soda out of a cup without a straw. It's possible. People don't seem to think it's possible.
Fuck them.
You can drive down the street and still enjoy a beverage with these new cups that they've designed. Yeah.
I say go for it and don't bow to your consumer pressure.
Right. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
You need a straw, bring one with you.
Right.
Bring one with you.
You don't need a fucking straw.
You don't need a straw. You don't need the soda either. Well, we talk about that all the time on the show.
Sure,
you don't need the fucking soda.
But every once in a while, I enjoy a soda. I do not drink them hardly at all.
No, we talked about it last week.
But
I just
do
can't
have my moments where I want a fucking soda.
Yeah, not with a straw, though.
I have one like every 2 weeks, a soda. And that's usually the root beer out of the fridge.
What about Fireball? We actually have just down the hallway from our studio here.
So I saw this story.
Yeah.
And I was flabbergasted.
I had no idea.
Because how many times have we gone to a liquor store and I have seen these fucking things?
Nobody
and have assumed that they were the same as the shit in the back.
Nobody knows what we're talking about. Okay, so Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey is being sued for lack of whiskey in their mini bottles. So if you get a Fireball shot or a Fireball drink at your favorite bar and they're pouring it out of the big bottle, you're getting actual whiskey.
Right.
But if you're going to somewhere like a gas station or a convenience store or an airplane and you're getting your Fireball in one of those mini bottles, the little airplane bottles, there's no whiskey in there.
No whiskey whatsoever.
It's a malt beverage and wine with flavorings and color in there.
Yeah.
It's not whiskey. Now, there's a class action that's been filed in Illinois, and they're demanding a jury trial because they say the defendant had a duty to disclose and or provide non-deceptive promises, descriptions, and marketing of the product. They're saying that they were selling this to people as a whiskey product when it wasn't.
And I actually disagree with the plaintiffs on this one.
Well, I do too, because it clearly says on the bottle
that it has whiskey in it.
It clearly says on the bottle that it does not have whiskey in it.
Right.
So I'm not sure why these people think they are going to win something. The 99-cent bottles are regularly sold in convenience stores and gas stations because most gas stations, convenience stores don't have liquor license, but they're allowed to sell beer and wine. So that's why you'll see Fireball at the registration desk.
The register?
The register, yeah. Anyway, frivolous lawsuit.
But I actually didn't know that.
These are just lawyers. These are just lawyers trying to get rich. A little payday.
Yes.
Do you think the average American who's been buying Fireball whiskey at their gas station gives a fuck what's in it?
No, because if you're buying what you think is liquor at a fucking gas station, then fuck you.
If you're buying a Fireball cinnamon whiskey shot at the gas station, there's something wrong with you, basically.
Yeah. Because
you're drinking and driving. Because they're going out to the car and drinking that damn thing before they leave. Of
course.
Yeah. So, fuck you. Fuck you. You don't deserve a dime. I can't wait for them to put hopefully the judge will just throw it out and say, no, you're not getting this.
They need to.
This is not going anywhere.
They need to. Because it clearly does not state whiskey on the thing. The labels are very similar, but they are different.
It's a different product.
Because you don't fucking read doesn't mean that you get a fucking payout.
Oh, right. And what would the average class action person get? 29 cents.
How do I prove this?
How do I prove that I bought one?
Right.
How do I join this class action? Oh,
So
yes,
stupid.
I did buy one in 2016 at a gas station in Memphis.
The problem is
I promise, I
that
did.
it's not about the class action. I believe that, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe if you are the plaintiff in a class action and the judge or jury rules in your favor, that you as the plaintiff get a larger sum, an initial larger sum for bringing the class.
Yeah.
And then it's everyone else's responsibility to prove that you belong in the class.
Oh, God, it's so stupid. It's just so friggin' stupid.
Yeah.
That's why I love talking about stuff like this, because I just find it so ridiculous that this even happens when there's so many problems in the world, and this is what people are focused on. Here's something I didn't see coming. I didn't know this until a couple days ago. During the NFL championship game on Fox this past Sunday, they advertised a new comedy special that's coming to Fox Nation. It's called Roseanne Barr, Cancel This! ! It was just a 15-second ad, basically with Roseanne stepping up to the microphone and saying, "Has anyone else been fired recently?" That's it. That's the whole ad. Kind of surprised about this because I didn't know that she was coming back or that someone was going to give her a platform.
Right.
Cancel This will debut on the Fox Nation streaming service on February 13th. That's the kind of like Fox's streaming service, like Fox Plus, basically.
You have to be a subscriber and pay the whatever it is to watch it.
As you guys know, Dale and I know this because we watch Roseanne literally every day. We watch the series, the original run of series, Roseanne from the 80s and 90s, and we love it to death. And I love her. I mean, yeah, she said some controversial things. She said some stupid shit.
Stupid shit,
The thing that got her fired off the reboot of Roseanne on ABC was she tweeted about Obama's, I don't know, what was she? Valerie Jarrett. She was some kind of...
Yeah, she called her a monkey.
Yeah, she called her some kind... She didn't call her monkey, but she said something about Planet of the Apes or something.
A monkey. She called her a monkey.
It was bad. It was bad. A lot of people saw it as racist. I don't know if Roseanne really meant it that way, but that's the way it came across. Anyway, of course, they brought the Connors back without Roseanne, and we haven't really been watching it just because it's kind of mostly depressing. It's more depressing than it is funny.
It's horrible.
It's always about some horrible thing happening to them, and it's just not fun anymore.
It's not fun
like the original series was.
Well, I mean, in full disclosure, I mean, we are watching the old Roseanne episodes, and we are now in the part of the series where it's not fun.
Well, it's where Becky and Mark are having problems.
It's not only that. I mean, we're in
Roseanne's pregnant with
like
the
season 8
fourth
or 9,
kid,
and Roseanne's only good for like the first 4 or 5 seasons, and that's it. That's it.
So why are you even watching what we're watching?
I have no idea because that's what we're in. That's what we do.
We only watch like 1 or 2 a day. We watch it while we're making dinner.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm surprised that she's coming back. I kind of want to watch it just because I want to see what she has to say. You know.
Yeah.
But
you're gonna subscribe to Fox Nation.
No, there's got to be another way. There's got to be another way to watch it because I'm certainly not subscribing to Fox Nation. I have no interest in Fox Nation. I hardly have any interest in Fox News, but I watch it every now and then just to see what they're up to.
Well, you kind of have to, and I always feel like that, regardless of what side that you're on, that you need to watch the other side just so that you can understand why the other side thinks that way.
Right.
And so you can have an actual conclusion to your own opinions.
Right.
Because you can't have opinions if you're only watching one side.
Opinions are like...
Because then your opinions are just what you're being fed.
Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one.
But some smell.
Well, some of them smell worse than others. No, it's funny because, we talked about last week that my parents were here.
Speaking of assholes, can we take a moment to shout out to Greg Stewart, who listens from Delaware?
Oh, my God. That is horrible. That was horrible.
That is great.
And he only said that because he's joshing you. He's joshing you, Greg. He doesn't mean that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you. And oh shit, what time? Like
Yeah, they're coming in like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's coming.
All right, I was going to tell a whole story about my father, but I'm not going to do that. Guess who isn't welcome? You want to know?
Mm-hmm.
Goonie fans.
Oh.
Remember the movie Goonies from 1985?
Hey, you guys!
We talked about this on the show before. This guy bought the historic or ironic or iconic. Ironic.
It's not ironic.
Can I read?
It's not ironic.
Iconic Astoria, Washington house that was featured in the beloved film from 1985, The Goonies. He bought the 126-year-old house for $1.6 million, which seems like a lot of money for that house. He claims that he's seen the movie over 100 times. He's a super fan, and he's opened the house to Goonies fans. Anybody who wants to come can come to the house, and he will give them a tour of the house.
For free?
For free. He just wants people to come. He wants to share his love of this house and this movie that he loves so much. Well, his neighbors are not very happy about this. Some of them are okay with it. Some of them are not liking it. As many as 1,500 visitors show up every day. No, don't.
That's a
Are
lot
you
of
telling me
fucking
that
people.
he's giving a tour to 1,500 people
That's
every day?
a lot of people. And would you not be aggravated if our neighbor had a house and had 1,500 people show up every day? I'd be pissed.
Absolutely.
I'd be a little pissed.
His next door neighbor, 2 houses down, put up a big banner in front of his house that said "Goonies not welcome," and then the next door neighbor next to that put out a banner that says "Ignore Karen" with an arrow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So some of the neighbors are in on it, and some of the friends are not having it.
All right,
the friends,
I
the
feel
neighbors.
Like, I feel like this is a fun thing, and the owner of this house should have some responsibility in keeping the peace and being able to share your love of this house and this movie, but also not pissing off your neighbor.
Listen, we've talked about this before so many times on the show. We talked about it with Christmas lights. We've talked about it with the Stranger Things display back in December. If you go over the top and you're creating a menace to your family, to your neighbors, because thousands and thousands of people are coming to see something that you've put up in your front yard,
You're shitty.
that's a problem.
Then you're shitty.
That's a problem.
You're a shitty neighbor.
And I know that they've made a huge industry. ABC has the great Christmas light fight, and people all over the country are trying to outdo each other with their Christmas lights and stuff.
Yeah.
But man, I know we don't live in an HOA, so we can't really tell our neighbors what to do and what not to do. But if our next door neighbor did that, and we had thousands of cars going by every night to see our neighbor's display, I'd be kind of pissed about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do anything. We don't put anything outside because we don't want the attention.
I don't want people here.
We don't want no attention. Who wants attention? What
you do?
What is the fun in that? I want attention online, and I want attention on our show, and I want attention from people reading my books, but I don't want attention in my front yard. No, I don't want people to know where we live. I'm not going to give my address on the Swish Edition. I will tell you, the only thing I'll tell you is that we're 2.5 songs away from the Strip.
There you go.
That could be in
There
many different directions. Speaking of movie, Scott can't talk today.
That is fucking hilarious.
Speaking of movies, are mummy movies PC? What about mummies in general? There was this whole thing this week, and it was so fucking stupid. I had to post it on Facebook and say how stupid it was. A recent CNN opinion piece makes a case for not calling actual mummies mummies. Instead, we should respect their dignity because they're dead people and not display them for people to look at in museums and exhibits. These people have been dead for like 500 years or more.
Right.
I say whatever. He says objectifying mummies has long been a concern, though rarely in quite that way. A bigger problem is the tendency to treat mummies as objects, an exploitable commodity for industry and entertainment. The fuck, man? I mean, literally, these people got embalmed and wrapped in many, many layers of
Right.
tissue, and we're not supposed to look at it and think it's really cool.
Right. I think mummies are cool.
There are others out there who echoed the statements and were concerned that mummies are always made to be villains and monsters in the movies.
Because they're dead and they're scary.
They're only scary when they come back to life.
Right.
They're not scary when they're just lying there.
Right.
Like King Tut.
Right.
Anyway, meanwhile, mummies are hugely popular, and bodies in general, bodies of dead people are very popular. People love looking at dead things.
Fucking love
We
it.
always have as a people. As
Fucking
human
love it.
beings, we've always loved it.
I've never been to a Bodies, and I want to go so bad.
There's a
To the point that when I go, I want my body to go to Bodies.
well, that's not happening.
It
I
would
will
be-
stop that from happening because I don't like that idea.
That is so cool.
I don't want people looking at you.
That is so. That is so cool that people are willing to donate their bodies. You know,
To
your
science.
bodies go to like science first.
I would donate.
And
Would
then-
you donate your body to science?
Yes,
No,
For
I don't
sure.
want people cutting me up.
for sure. For science.
Oh
yes.
God. If you
You know,
guys don't
there's a
know, can I
place
just
in-
tell people what Bodies is? If you guys don't know, Bodies is an exhibit that there's multiples of them. They travel sometimes. There's
Yeah.
permanent ones. We have a permanent one here at the Luxor resort here in Vegas, and then there's one called Real Bodies over at the Horseshoe across the street. So there's two different ones here in Vegas, but there are also ones that travel around the country. I think.
yeah.
These are actual human bodies that are
Yeah.
on display, cross sections, some of them, so you can see like the organs and stuff.
Why is that
and
morbid?
it is morbid. I'm not saying and
You
morbid.
should
Maybe
learn something and be fascinated by
you should
what's
understand the
inside
body.
of you.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm saying, but this guy at CNN thinks that this is a bad thing.
Well, that guy's a fuck.
Agreed. That's why I'm bringing it up.
But do you know that there is a place that I think is in Pennsylvania that if you donate your body to this particular scientific organization, which has ties to
The mafia.
like law enforcement and coroners,
Uh-huh.
and they put your body like outside and in these different types of settings, like a wet setting or a dry setting or just in the natural setting in the East Coast.
To see how long it
And
takes. to-
and they take pictures and they make documents of how decomposition works in these different environments.
Oh, God.
And that's how these coroners learn and they can catch people and
So-
stuff like that. I find that fucking fascinating.
So when you die, we're supposed to like transport you, drop you in a remote valley somewhere, and let you just lie there and see what happens to you over time.
What do I care?
It would make me very upset.
But I could be helping something.
You could be helping. I just don't want to know about it. So if you decide to do that, do it without me knowing. That would be good.
Or I could designate that I want my body to go to the Bodies Museum specifically in Las Vegas, and you can just go and look.
I think it would
How
be
cool
better.
would that be? How fucking cool would that
It'd
be?
be better if I could just preserve you and keep you here. We just set you up in the family room.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Want to get up every
I
morning?
guess
Say,
people could find this weird and strange and uncomfortable, but I find it so very fascinating.
Well, this
so
is why,
very
This is why you love all the true crime stuff on the ID
Love it,
channel,
love it, love it
and
to
you're a
death.
big fan of the new Criminal Minds Evolution, and you
But
love all this shit.
if it weren't for people like me, there would be like corners across this country who would find bodies who are unable to, put together a crime scene to be able to eventually catch the person
Right?
who did it.
Yeah.
So it's people like me who want to further that thing. I think it's great. I think it's great.
All right, we're going to table that for now. I don't know if I'm going to allow you to do that. As your husband, I don't know that
How
cannot-
dare you go against my wishes?
I will. I probably will go against your wishes. Hey, I have two entertainment things to talk about that aren't on our outline. One, this Thursday is Groundhog's Day, which is one of my favorite holidays. We were talking about earlier about February being a happy month. I think everyone should stream the movie Groundhog's Day on Thursday night.
I feel
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I think you and I should watch it on Thursday.
Well, yeah, I've seen it. It's not the greatest movie.
It is one of the greatest movies of all time.
No, it's hardly. But I feel like the holiday of Groundhog's Day
It's not really a holiday.
could be celebrated in a more significant thing just because of how ridiculous it is.
Yes. It's the dumbest.
And
it's not a holiday. It's just a day.
And just the reason that is because it's so ridiculous
Yeah.
that you're sitting at a bar and you're waiting for the countdown on fucking CBS or wherever it comes from. And just wait until the fucking groundhog comes and it's either this or it's either that. And he's like, oh no, or oh no.
Well, no one's in a bar. It happens at sunrise. It happens at like 6 o'clock in the morning. No one's in a bar.
Oh, I didn't know it happened that early.
It happens right in the morning.
I think it should be a thing.
It should be.
I think we should make it a thing.
It is a thing. All right. Well, we could go to our bars are 24 hours here.
Although
you want to go to the bar?
It's horrible. Have you seen the way they pull those fucking things out of the ground?
It's a groundhog. It's just a rodent. Yeah. I don't know. Pakistani Phil.
Putnam.
Pakistani Phil. Something like that.
Puxahani.
Pakistani Phil.
Puxatawny.
Pakistani Phil.
Yeah, that's the one. It's fucking Pennsylvania again.
It is. It's all about Pennsylvania. My least favorite state in the union. Yeah. Also, my other entertainment thing that I want to talk about this week, you guys probably, two, I guess.
Let's hurry this along.
Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
He is going to be hosting SNL this Saturday night, which is kind of fun. He's also in the new show that we're watching, The Last of Us on HBO.
Yes.
Yes, HBO.
Which you don't like.
Which we're behind. We've only watched the first episode, and there's 2 and 3 are out. I like it enough.
No, you don't.
I can't wait to watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the Pro Bowl is this weekend on Sunday, and it's here in Vegas. So it's going to be right down 2.5 songs away from our...
Hooray.
Speaking of things that refuse to die, like Dale, The Simpsons, Family Guy, and Bob's Burgers have been renewed at Fox for 2 more years. These are the cartoons that refuse to die, Dale. The Simpsons, now that it's being renewed for 2 years, is going to be going to its 36th season.
Yeah.
This show has literally been on since I've been in college. It started when I was in college.
I feel like the only thing that outbeats this is 60 Minutes.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
That's still on TV. Family Guy, 23 years.
Wait a minute.
23. Did you know Family Guy was around for 23 years?
I didn't, but what about the soaps?
Oh, no. Yeah. Young and the Restless is definitely older than that. Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Is it? Okay.
I can look it up, but definitely older than The Simpsons. Oh, for sure. It came on in the 50s or the 60s.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up
with
it. Okay.
And then Bob's Burgers is renewed for its 14th and 15th season. And Bob's Burgers doesn't get enough love. It really is pretty funny.
It's funny
if you actually sit down and watch it. The Simpsons, I don't think is as funny as it used to be. And Family Guy is always funny. I mean, Family Guy is laugh out loud, I think.
Yeah.
But
no, I agree. I totally agree with that.
And they're all stupid as fuck.
I've never found The Simpsons funny.
It's had its moments over its 36
Family Guy
years. Yeah.
and Bob's Burgers and the others I find are... I get it.
The thing about Bob's Burgers, I don't know if we've ever talked about this on the show before, but the voice actor who plays the wife on Bob's Burgers is actually a man who did a viral video about a Christmas tree. Do you remember this? Mm-mm. Look at the fucking tree. Isn't the fucking tree beautiful? Look at that fucking tree. Oh my God, come in here and look at the tree. Oh my God, look at the tree. Isn't that fucking beautiful? You don't know that video? I don't, probably. But anyway, it's a he. And he made this viral video that just went bananas. And that's where the producers of Bob's Burgers found him to be the voice of the mother on Bob's Burgers from that viral video.
Because she's from New Jersey.
I don't know if that's why, because they just loved her voice. His voice. He's a he. He's a he playing a she on TV. Mm-hmm. It's hard to keep up with all these pronouns in the 21st century. Hey, what else is making money besides cartoons? It's Formula One. I didn't realize this. We've been talking about it on the show that Formula One is coming here to Vegas this November, late November, 16th through the 18th. And I didn't realize it was such a fucking big deal. Did you know there was so much money involved?
I knew it was an expensive car just because if you ever watch it on TV and just look at the ads, like it's Hublot and Rolex and all that kind of shit that sponsors.
And it's global.
Yeah.
It's not just in America. It's global.
Right. It's a global sport, and that's what makes it very huge.
F1 is expected to bring $1.2 billion to Las Vegas this year and will add 7,000 jobs. It's also going to be permanent. I thought this was a one-time thing.
I thought it was a one-time thing.
They're planning to do it every year.
What?
Every November. That's why they're building that huge paddock down there.
Holy crap.
Demand for tickets are off the charts. They're already fucking sold out. You have
to admit, it's going to be cool.
It's going to be pretty cool. The 3.8-mile track goes down the strip. It's got the longest straightaway in all of Formula One. Because it's going to go from like Resorts World all the way down to Mandalay Bay.
Well, the strip is 4 miles.
But the whole track, but they're not doing the whole strip.
Right,
they're going to go around. Yeah, so the whole track is 3.8 miles. They're going to do 50 laps, and their top speed is going to be about 210 miles an hour.
I think it's so cool, and we're certainly going to hear it.
Yeah, since we're only 2.5 songs away. I think that's enough. What do you think?
I think so.
Because I think the last 2 stories that I have on here are stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I was going to talk about VR related injuries.
But don't tell people about it.
And I was going to talk about egg prices. I am kind of dumbfounded by the fact that so many Americans are getting all up in arms about egg prices. Give me a break.
Yeah.
They're just a little more expensive. You can deal. Anyway, one last thing. Police K9. You know, police have K9 units. His name is Ice, and he lives in Michigan. And he's going viral after he had a rough day. Get it? Rough. He is accused of stealing his owner's lunch while the officers were out on an emergency call.
Oh, no.
So when they got back, the police department took a mug shot and posted it online of Ice. We got a picture of it here.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The department said Ice invoked his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and frankly is not cooperating with the investigation.
As he should.
He's very cute. And they literally did take a mug shot of him.
Yeah. I actually did. Now that you said that, I remember that story.
So the picture here shows that he's 6 feet 8 inches tall. Which is a little ridiculous.
That's not it.
All right. So next week we really will talk to you in the month of February. It will be February 7th.
And last but not least, fuck you, Greg Stewart.
Oh, that is rotten to the core. Rotten to the core.
But that guy's a fuck.